Right, good morning, Year 7. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an indicator for testing the pH of different household chemicals, okay? So we're going to be working out which chemicals around our house are acid and which are alkali, and which are neutral. And to do that, we're going to be using this thing called red cabbage. Now, you can buy red cabbage from pretty much any supermarket in the fruit and veg section. This cost me about £1, I got it today, so if you are going to do this, make sure you ask your parents first and either ask them to pop to the shop or you pop to the shop and get it as part of your weekly shop, okay? It's very, very simple to do this practical. All you need for it is some red cabbage. You need a container of some kind, I'm using a jug, and a sieve or a colander, okay? Then you need a bowl, some form of spoon or stirring implement, and normally we'd say flasks or test tubes, but I'm just using glasses to do my measuring and testing in, alright? Now the first thing you need to do before you begin is you need to boil the kettle, okay? So I've got my kettle over here and I've already boiled it, but I'll pop it to one side there, okay? So you make sure you've got some boiling hot water. Then you need to get your bowl, and you only need about 1 leaf of the red cabbage, okay? And you can just rip it off, alright? Just need about 1 leaf of red cabbage. Now, if you've got some scissors or a knife and you're very, very sensible and you've got an adult helping you, then by all means you can cut it up, alright? But you don't really need to. You can just quite honestly rip it up with your fingers. They'll turn a lovely purple colour, as you can see mine have, because this is a stain, this is an indicator, it's a dye, but that's okay because it will wash out eventually. Just make sure while you're doing this that you keep your hands off your clothes and you don't let any of the cabbage or any of the colour water we're going to make get on your clothes. Try not to spill it all over the kitchen. Right, once you've got about this much cabbage, okay, you need to rip it up into the smallest pieces that you possibly can. Again, or you can chop it up, or use scissors just to cut it up, and put it into the bowl, alright? So it's ripping up the cabbage into the smallest pieces that we can. Again, this is quite a fun one because you can do this practical in your kitchens, you can do it at home, and it doesn't require anything other than just cabbage and hot water to make. You can keep ripping this up. Nice, small bits, because what we want is when we put that hot water in, we want all the colour to diffuse out of it, okay? Remember that key word we've used before, diffuse? So we want all the colour to leach and diffuse out of the cabbage and into the water. So I'll put the chopping board to one side. Now we've got our bowl of chopped up cabbage, it can be a bit smaller. We're just going to cover it in boiling water, alright? So make sure it is completely covered in boiling water, and as you can see it's already starting to turn blue in colour. Now you can either leave that and go and do something else for 10 minutes or so, or you can just get a spoon and just start to mash it a little bit. Okay, gently, because you don't want to spill it everywhere, and you don't want to spill, first of all you don't want to spill boiling water everywhere, but also you don't want this blue water to get underneath your clothes, because it will stain them, alright? As it's done a wonderful job of staining my fingers, as you can see. So we'll give that a nice mash up. You don't have to do it for very long. In fact, that's probably plenty of time. Now, the next step you need is you need your jug and you need your sieve or your colander, okay? And you need to place them to one side, okay? Or get another adult to hold it for you while you do this next step. And very carefully, you're going to lift this bowl and pour the contents into the sieve. Now don't forget this is hot water, so if it's not set up like mine is, make sure someone's holding it or you do it over the sink, so if you do spill any, it doesn't go over you. Alright? So carefully lift that up and you're just pouring it into the sieve. And that's us done. You can put the bowl to one side. You can take the sieve off with the red cabbage, give it a little bit of a shake, and we can put the red cabbage either into the bin or your parents might want to use it for dinner. And we've got our bowl of indicator solution, alright? I know it says we called it red cabbage, but as you can see the indicator is actually a blue colour. Now it's blue when it's neutral, okay, so it's not acid or alkali yet. Next thing to do is to get your 4 containers. Now these are what we're going to test in, alright? And you just need to decant some of your liquid into each beaker. You can see that lovely blue colour there. Perfect. Now, the chemicals that we're going to test are malt vinegar, or just any old household vinegar will do, okay? Probably best not to use your parents' fancy balsamic vinegar. The cheaper ones are perfect. We're going to test some cleaning products, alright? Just as the kitchen cleaner. We're going to test a lemon, and we're going to test some milk as well. Now you can test any chemicals you like, and the info sheet for today's lesson at the bottom of it has got a little table that will tell you, depending on what colour these turn, whether they are acids or alkalis. First one we'll do is the malt vinegar. Now, all you need to do is just add a few little squirts of vinegar into it, and as you can see, almost instantly it's changed colour. And it's turned a lovely red. Now from the table we know that that means that this is an acid. Alright, so our malt vinegar is an acid. And if you actually look at the colours on the table, you'll be able to work out exactly what pH that was as well. Next one we're going to test is the kitchen cleaner. Be careful with the kitchen cleaners, okay? They can be quite horrible if you get them on your skin, alright? So maybe get an adult to help you with this bit. So very carefully, I'm going to take the lid off. I'm just going to pour a little bit of the kitchen cleaner into my indicator, and then put the lid back on again to keep it safe. And as you can see, that's turned from blue to a lovely kind of greeny turquoise colour. Alright, which means that that was an alkali. Again, you can use the table to work out exactly what pH that was. The next one we'll try is the lemon juice. Even easier this time, we can just squirt the lemon juice in. And again, the lemon juice has turned another lovely kind of pinky red colour, which we know means that that is also an acid, just like the vinegar. And the last one we're going to try is milk. Now milk's already got its own kind of thick white colour, so we might not see as obvious a colour change, if any, with the milk. I'm just going to pour a little bit of milk in. And the milk actually hasn't really changed colour at all. It's gone cloudy because of the milk, but it's still a kind of dark blue colour. Alright? Now if it hasn't really changed colour, that means that it's neutral. Now milk actually isn't perfectly neutral. It does have a pH, but I'll let you try and work out what that is. For now, with this test, it just hasn't really changed that much colour. Okay? So there we are. We've got our 2 acids, our alkali, and our neutral. So give it a go. Find some household products of your own to test. Maybe coffee, tea. You could try some oil and see if anything happens with that. Washing up liquid. Anything you like. Give it a test and see what colours you can produce with your red cabbage indicator. I hope you have fun doing some kitchen practicals.